Every week, one 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gain there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 244. Not only was his martial arts realm high, but the cultivation techniques and martial skills he practiced were all earth rank or above. For him, challenging opponents above his level was practically a daily occurrence. Once, a young island nation grandmaster realm martial artist in Dragon Country spoke arrogantly and acted conceitedly in front of Shi Jingyan. As a result, Shi Jingyan only made one move and instantly defeated him. It is said that the island nation martial artist has not dared to set foot on Dragon Country's land since, because he practiced powerful and sharp cultivation techniques and martial skills, which were incomparable to Gu Zhe's flashy style. Chun Bo was certainly impressive, even killing 2 shattered Jade Tower assassins by himself. But after all, no one had witnessed it firsthand. The martial arts world has never lacked exaggerated, embellished stories. Who knows if you secretly poisoned White Eagle when he had diarrhea? After all, you Chun Bo are famous for using poison. There's no time like the present. Let's do it now. I also want to learn a thing or two from Brother Chun, Shi Jingyan said coldly. When it came to martial arts competitions, he had never backed down. Perfect. Matters between men should be resolved by force. This was the fairest way. Coincidentally, not far from here, there was an unfinished construction site. It was spacious and deserted, a good place to spar. Extra. Young Master Shi Jingyan is having a decisive battle with the online tycoon, President Bo, in Yangqing. I will be live-streaming the event in my broadcast room. Interested viewers, hurry and enter my broadcast room. The decisive battle is about to begin. Those watching the show didn't mind the excitement. Xiao Zhang immediately posted the news of Shi Jingyan and Chun Bo's decisive battle in several martial artist groups. For a time, the groups were abuzz with excitement. As Dragon Country's #1 prodigy, Shi Jingyan's popularity among martial artists nationwide was unparalleled. On a normal day, if he wiped the sleep from his eyes, it could become news in the martial arts world, a topic of conversation for many martial artists after meals. The news of Shi Jingyan wanting to duel someone instantly exploded across various martial artist channels. Who is this online tycoon President Bo? How come I've never heard of him? You don't even know President Bo? He's a god in the eyes of countless female streamers. What god? He's only impressive in the realm of ordinary people. In our circle, such a person is an insignificant nobody. President Bo is dueling Shi Jingyan? President Bo is actually a martial artist? Besides, how did these two run into each other? Given President Bo's financial power, it's not surprising that he entered the martial arts world. What surprises me is how he managed to provoke Shi Jingyan. He probably doesn't know how to write the word death. He probably got carried away chasing women and ended up pursuing Shi Jingyan's girl. I guess that's highly likely. After all, President Bo is someone who relies on his wealth to hook up with beautiful women everywhere. But this time he's kicked an iron plate. Damn, I'm in Yangqing. Blogger, please give me the address. I want to watch it live. I'll pay handsomely. Xiao Zhang's live broadcast room's popularity grew higher and higher. In just a few minutes, the number of viewers exceeded 10,000. Some even suggested coming to watch in person. A great battle was on the verge of breaking out. Jingyan, why don't you just forget it? Chun Bo isn't as simple as you think. As Dragon Country's #1 prodigy, if you lose, it will be very embarrassing. Tang Tang advised with some worry. Upon hearing this, Shi Jingyan instantly became furious. The most taboo thing for a man was for a woman to publicly say he couldn't do something. He had practiced martial arts since childhood, and his talent and hard work had long been recognized by his elders. What the hell did a woman like her know? Saying I would lose? Then give me a reason why I could lose. If you're afraid your pretty boy will get hurt, then the person you should be advising is him. Being told by Tang Tang that he couldn't do it, Shi Jingyan's killing intent instantly turned sharp. If Chun Bo sent you, tell him that as long as he admits defeat, I will not make things difficult for him. If he's both afraid of death and wants to show off, he's probably dreaming. Who does he think I, Shi Jingyan, am? Sigh. I'm doing this for your own good. You can't beat him, Tang Tang said firmly. She didn't know how strong Chun Bo was, but her intuition told her that Chun Bo couldn't lose. Her intuition had always been very accurate. Otherwise, she wouldn't have staked everything on Chun Bo. She had even offered herself as a pledge of allegiance to Chun Bo. Upon hearing this, Shi Jingyan almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. Tang Tang, you're going too far. It's one thing for you to help this kid, but you even said I couldn't beat him? Shi Jingyan was practically in a berserk state. In your eyes, am I just a little weakling? No wonder you didn't put me in your eyes. All right, today I'll let you see how terrifying the strength of Dragon Country's #1 prodigy is. I will beat your pretty boy beyond recognition right in front of you. Feeling Shi Jingyan's increasingly sharp killing intent, Chun Bo's eyelids twitched. He gave Tang Tang a speechless look. You're not breaking up a fight at all. You're clearly stirring up hatred. You clearly knew that Dragon Country's #1 prodigy was Shi Jingyan's greatest pride. Yet you told him he couldn't beat you right in front of him. It was clearly Chapter 245. How long do you guys think President Bo can last against Shi Jingyan? I reckon 30 seconds at most. Their strengths aren't even on the same dimension. Shi Jingyan's power is evident to all. Half-step Grandmaster Realm, Heaven-tier cultivation techniques, and various brutal combat skills. Killing Chun Bo would be effortless for him. So, forget 30 seconds. If Shi Jingyan gets serious, it'll be an instant kill. It was common knowledge that Shi Jingyan surpassed Chun Bo in cultivation techniques, martial arts, and combat experience. This was an inherently unequal match. There was no suspense. From every angle, Chun Bo had no chance of winning. Just surrender quickly. Losing isn't shameful. Otherwise, if he gets beaten to a pulp by Shi Jingyan, that would be truly embarrassing. The betting is open. The betting is open. We're betting on how long Chun Bo can last against Shi Jingyan. If he falls within 10 seconds, one pays 0.5. If he falls between 10 and 20 seconds, one pays 1. If he falls between 20 and 30 seconds, one pays 10. If he lasts over a minute, one pays 100. If you bet on Chun Bo to win, one pays 1,000. The more you bet, the more you win. Everyone is welcome to place your bets. Among the martial artists, someone immediately smelled a business opportunity and opened a betting pool. Holy crap! The odds for falling within 10 seconds are only 0.5? That's too low, but a fly's leg is still meat. I'm betting 1 million. Betting he won't last 10 seconds. I guess Shi Jingyan won't go for the kill right away. He'll exchange some trash talk, right? It should take at least 10 seconds. I'm betting 5 million that he won't last. I'm also betting Chun Bo falls within 20 seconds. 2 million. Go big or go home. I'm betting 1 million that Chun Bo can last a minute, haha.
Un paysan.
If I win, I'll get 100 million. If you like to gamble that much, why don't you bet on Chun Bo to win?
Un pays mille.
If you bet 1 million, it could turn into 1 billion. Isn't that better? You're right. How many times in life do you get to take such a gamble? Odds of 1 to 1,000 don't come often. So I'll put in a token 100,000. If Chun Bo wins, I can still get 100 million. Ha ha ha. Fool, how is that different from throwing money into the ocean? With that money, you could find a girl to have fun with. 100,000 is enough to play with 5th or 6th tier minor celebrities. For a time, everyone in the group placed their bets. Although the odds for Chun Bo falling within 10 seconds were only 0.5, the number of people betting on it was the highest. In just 1 minute, the total bet amount exceeded 1 billion. Next were the 20-second and 30-second bets, with amounts also reaching 500 or 600 million. Attracted by the high odds, Bets on Chun Bo lasting over a minute also amounted to tens of millions. These bettors were just looking for some fun. What if Shi Jingyan really spent a minute trash-talking in the arena? As for betting on Chun Bo to win, only that one person, who was considered a fool, placed a 100,000 bet. The audience present at the scene was also discussing and placing bets. The content of their discussions naturally didn't escape Chun Bo's unusually keen ears. When he heard that the odds for him to win reached 1 to 1,000, how could he possibly hold back? He immediately beckoned to Yuan Chao. Seeing this, Yuan Chao pointed at himself in astonishment. Me?
Chen Bo nodded.
Big brother, what are your orders? Yuan Chao jogged over to Chun Bo, asking cautiously. Your betting pool. The odds for me to win are 1 to 1,000? Chun Bo asked, trying his best to suppress the smile on his lips. Yes? Yuan Chao nodded, instinctively stepping back. He thought Chun Bo would be furious because of these odds. Anyone would be angry. This was outright humiliation. It was no less insulting than Tang Tang telling Shi Jingyan he was impotent right to his face. Yuan Chao was terrified that Chun Bo would suddenly go crazy and slap him again. However, he heard Chun Bo's cunning laugh in his ear. He. Today is my day to get rich. Ha! Yuan Chao looked at Chun Bo in bewilderment. Brother, help me bet on myself to win. Bet 100 million. Oh, 1,000 times 100 million is 100 billion. Who needs a bicycle then? No, brother, even if you really win. Do you think if you won 100 billion, the bookmaker would have that much money to pay you? Yuan Chao asked.
Chen Bo paused.
Oh, right. He had been carried away by the excitement. Based on the betting situation and the bookmaker's strength, paying out 2 billion would already be the limit. Assuming 2 billion, a bet of 2 million would be enough. You're right. Then bet 2 million for me, brother. Don't say I don't look out for you. I'm giving you a chance to get rich. Such opportunities don't come often. Yuan Chao looked troubled. He had already bet 100,000, gambling that Chun Bo would be taken care of by Shi Jingyan within 10 seconds. In the martial artist circle, he was an extremely rare poor martial artist. 100,000 yuan was all the money he had scraped together. If he won, he would get 50,000. The resources and money needed for cultivation were enormous, which martial artists didn't have a huge force supporting them. So, poor martial artists were not common in this circle. Otherwise, Yuan Chao wouldn't have kidnapped Chun Bo's friend on the spot to extort money from Chun Bo. But after hearing Chun Bo's words, Yuan Chao's heart was stirred. The odds of 1 to 1,000 were too high. Even betting 10,000 could win 10 million. Who wouldn't be tempted? So, his eyes flickered as he looked at Chun Bo. Brother, I also think you can win. Can you lend me 10,000? I promise I'll pay you back. No way. As a martial artist? You can't even come up with 10,000 yuan? Chun Bo said in surprise. Yuan Chao gave an embarrassed laugh. All right, hurry up and place the bet for me. Otherwise, if the betting closes and I can't place the bet, I'll hold you responsible for this money. After receiving Chun Bo's transfer, Yuan Chao happily placed the bet on his phone. Before long, Chun Bo and Shi Jingyan stood facing each other in the open space in the middle of the unfinished building complex. There was no referee for this sparring match. One side falling unconscious or actively surrendering meant the other side won. Chun Bo, fists and feet have no eyes. Once I start fighting, I don't hold back. If I accidentally injure or even kill you, don't blame me, Shi Jingyan said with a fake smile. His words implied that he fully intended to kill Chun Bo. Tang Tang's actions earlier had already made him furious. If I don't beat you until your own mother doesn't recognize you this time, I won't be named sure. Ding! Detecting someone with malicious intent towards the host. Shi Jingyan. The system is currently detecting the woman he cherishes most. Ding! Shi Jingyan's most cherished woman has been detected as Tang Tang. Here is Tang Tang's basic information. Name, Tang Tang. Occupation, General Manager of Shang Tang Group. Age, 30 years old. Height, 170 cm. Weight, 48 kilograms. Looks, 89 points, out of 100. Number of partners. 1. Marital status. Unmarried. Tang Tang's favorability towards the host. 65.
Oh, Chen bosnird inwardly.
It finally bound. However, Shi Zhengyan really was a pure-hearted man. His most cherished woman turned out to be someone he met on a blind date. It seems his love for Tang Tang is genuine. Since it's true love, he definitely needs to rack up a wave of rage points. Chun Bo's smile grew even more cunning. Seeing this, Shi Zhengyan couldn't help but shiver, feeling a sudden, inexplicable fear. Chapter 246. Young Master Shi, I think we should stop this sparring match when it's appropriate. Tang Tang certainly wouldn't want to see either of us seriously injured, right? Chun Bo's expression was calm and neither humble nor arrogant. However, these words seemed to imply a bit of backing down. But did Chun Bo really back down? Not at all. Only the lowest tier show-offs would utter threats. The king of show-offs disdains such things. Strength is the highest realm of showing off. Although he didn't know how strong Shi Zhengyan was, no matter how strong he was, he couldn't be stronger than the Grandmaster level Gu Yulan. Even Gu Yulan was suppressed by him. What's more, his cultivation had surged from Qi Gathering 2nd level to Qi Gathering 4th level. He had stepped from the early stage of Qi Gathering into the middle stage, from a primary school student to a junior high school student. This qualitative leap was so powerful that Chun Bo himself was afraid of it. A mere half-step grandmaster, Chun Bo wasn't flustered at all. But these words, heard by Shi Zhengyan, were full of provocation. The name Tang Tang itself is a homophone, and calling her by her given name would be like Tang Tang, somewhat ambiguous. So, these words, heard by Shi Zhengyan, turned into him flaunting his relationship. And it was flaunting his relationship with the woman he fancied. How could he tolerate this? Ding! Anger value from Shi Zhengyan. Plus 110. Current total anger value. 3,870. Ding! A rage critical hit of over 100 points has been generated. Rewarding speed attribute plus 1. Current host attributes. Strength, 29. Speed, 25. Stamina, 26. Upon receiving the anger value, Chun Bo felt a bit regretful. If he had bound him before Tang Tang caused trouble, the anger value would have skyrocketed. But it's not too late to bind him now. For someone as arrogant as Shi Zhengyan, isn't it a matter of minutes to make him angry using Tang Tang? Shi Zhengyan gritted his teeth in anger. Don't you worry. No one will be seriously injured. Only someone will die. The word die was emphasized heavily, showing Shi Zhengyan's anger at that moment. Such intense hostility. In that case, come on. Let me witness the strength of Dragon Country's #1 prodigy. Chun Bo said seriously with one hand behind his back. You make the first move. If I make a move, you probably won't have another chance to. Seeing Chun Bo with one hand behind his back, Shi Zhengyan also put both hands behind his back, his expression relaxed and calm. He had quite the demeanor of a strong expert. In terms of showing off, he also wanted to surpass Chun Bo. Oh, really? Then I won't hold back. Before he finished speaking, he unleashed a lightning-fast punch. The match officially begins. Xiao Zhang, who was live-streaming, immediately announced the start of the timing when he saw Chun Bo make his move. After all, the amount wagered on Shi Zhengyan defeating Chun Bo within 10 seconds was as high as 1 billion. Every extra second meant a huge risk for the bookmaker. A punch as swift as lightning was thrown, and the fierce wind from the punch cut through the air, emitting a deafening roar. Even someone as strong as White Eagle couldn't react in time. Even if he did react, his body wouldn't be quick enough to block. Even if he was lucky enough to block it, the overwhelmingly powerful force would still shatter his internal organs. Shi Zhengyan was stunned. His pupils suddenly constricted. He knew Chun Bo had some skill, but he didn't expect this punch to be so terrifying. But he only paused for a moment. 10 years of consistent training had long formed muscle memory in his body. His muscles reacted a step faster than his brain. While blocking, his body instantly leaped backward, rotated, and skillfully diffused Chun Bo's fierce punch. This movement technique was very similar to Tai Chi, It should be a type of Taoist cultivation method. Having dodged Chen Bo's attack, Shi Jingyan didn't even need to think. While diffusing the attack, he skillfully launched a counterattack. He unleashed a series of consecutive moves at Chen Bo with extreme speed. This was Shi Jingyan's refined combat experience, allowing him to make the correct reaction in an instant. Shi Jingyan's attacks were not flashy at all. Every move was deadly and extremely vicious. Each strike went straight for Chen Bo's vital points. Bang! 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 The speed of the two was as swift as lightning. Two figures, like beams of light, continuously collided, emitting muffled thuds. A punch from you, a kick from me, back and forth. It was extremely intense. Both sides launched their most ruthless attacks directly at each other's vital points, aiming to deliver a fatal blow. However, neither side could do anything to the other. Especially Chen Bo. Whenever Shi Jingyan's attack was about to land on him, he would always manage to dodge the attack with an extremely bizarre movement technique at the last moment, and then launch an equally fierce counterattack. For a time, the rhythm of offense and defense was extremely fast, with attacks and defenses alternating, making the scene incredibly tense and fierce. Chen Bo couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Shi Jingyan's strength was truly formidable. Moreover, this guy seemed to get more excited the longer he fought, with his speed and strength continuously rising. He was truly a battle maniac born for combat. Even with Chen Bo using 50% of his strength, he could only manage a draw. The live audience, in Xiao Zhang's live stream, everyone was dumbfounded and astonished. Holy crap! What's going on? Is Shi Jingyan holding back? It's almost 10 seconds, and he can't even instantly kill a Qi-gathering 4th-level expert. It's a fix. Definitely a fix. A fix my ass. Would an arrogant figure like Shi Jingyan joke with his own reputation? It's not that Shi Jingyan is holding back. It's that Chen Bo's strength is too great, exceeding everyone's expectations. Damn it. This bastard Chen Bo. He actually hid his strength and played the pig to eat the tiger. I bet 50 million that he would lose within 10 seconds. Damn it. It's still me. I knew this Chen Bo definitely wasn't that simple. I bet he could last 30 seconds. Shi Jingyan is already getting into his stride, so I'm definitely safe now. On the field, the battle between the two sides became increasingly fierce, with speed and strength continuously escalating. Violent collisions emitted loud bangs, and the intense energy impacts transformed into shockwaves, rushing in all directions. The entire venue was filled with flying sand and rolling stones, and dust rose everywhere. Shi Jingyan's demeanor became more serious, and a hint of indescribable excitement appeared at the corner of his mouth. Because Chen Bo's strength made him feel fear, and at the same time, it ignited his desire to fight. As a martial arts fanatic, what he longed for most was to meet an evenly matched opponent and enjoy a thoroughly satisfying battle. However, his journey so far had been a lonely one. Among opponents of the same generation, he was invincible. Before he even had to unleash his true strength, his opponents were either defeated or had already surrendered. Invincibility is the loneliest. He craved the joy of battle but had never truly experienced it. But today it seemed different. Chen Bo's appearance made him excited, made him thrilled. It was obvious. Shi Jingyan's combat experience was richer than Chen Bo's, and his combat strategies were far more profound than Chen Bo's. What surprised him was that whenever he thought he was about to succeed, Chen Bo would always skillfully dodge his attacks with that peculiar movement technique. Shi Jingyan judged that this must be a high-level footwork he had never heard of before. 10 seconds passed. The two intertwined figures quickly separated. This meant that the probing between them had come to an end. In the first round, the two were considered evenly matched. Chapter 247. Interesting, truly interesting. An opponent like you is worth me going all out to defeat. Humph ha ha ha. Shi Jingyan let out an arrogant, wild laugh. He clapped his hands together fiercely, and as his aura surged, crimson blood energy, like a viscous fluid, slowly covered Shi Jingyan's entire body. Instantly, a violent aura burst forth, causing a network of cracks to appear in the ground beneath his feet. Immediately after, he pulled his hands back, and 3 red glowing metal rod-like objects suddenly appeared in his hands. The tip of one of them had a flashing, cold spearhead and a red tassel. The 3 red metal rods merged fiercely in Shi Zhengyan's hands, remarkably forming a fire spear covered in mysterious patterns. At the same time, the crimson blood energy covering Shi Zhengyan rapidly spread over the entire silver spear, making it crimson and violent. The surrounding area was instantly whipped into a frenzy by his violent blood energy.
Heavenly Gong Scarlet Dragon Spear.
Shi Zhengyan let out a low roar. Then a wicked smile played on his lips. Come on, Chun Bo, come and please me. Shi Zhengyan's expression was incredibly excited. Seeing this, Chun Bo's eyes trembled. It must be said that Shi Zhengyan's combat state was truly astonishing to him. He also wanted to use Gang Qi to form armor like Shi Zhengyan, maximizing his imposing presence. Unfortunately, Gang Qi armor was a move that only martial artists above the Gang Qi realm could use. He, a 4th-level Qi-gathering realm practitioner, was still far from it. But Chun Bo was not flustered in the slightest. Standing with one hand behind his back, he extended his right hand and beckoned to Shi Zhengyan with a finger, meaning, "Come at me." After both sides performed such impressive actions, another 10 seconds had passed. Those who bet that Chun Bo would fall within 20 seconds immediately turned red with anger and cursed loudly. It's rigged. It's rigged. I definitely have reason to suspect they're in cahoots. Damn it, why don't you fight? What are you showing off for? My 5 million bet is gone just like that. Damn you all. You only lost 5 million? I bet 20 million. 20 million just went down the drain. If they were fighting fiercely, it would be fine. But these 2 jerks just showed off for 20 seconds. Damn it. Heh. Thankfully I had foresight. I knew they would show off. I bet 5 million each on 30 seconds and 1 minute. This time, I'm guaranteed to win. Ha ha ha. On the arena, Shi Zhengyan's gaze was sharp and cold. The agile scarlet fire spear in his hand traced a giant flaming dragon several tens of meters long, charging towards Chun Bo with immense power and weight. His fierce and powerful aura even surpassed that of Grandmaster Realm Gu Yulan. After all, most of Gu Yulan's attributes were focused on silver element magic, so her attack power and aura weren't particularly high. As for Shi Zhengyan, he had almost all his skill attributes invested in strength and speed. The pressure he instantly unleashed had already reached the strength of the Grandmaster realm. The scarlet flaming dragon let out a roar, opening its gaping maw and charging directly at Chun Bo, as if to devour him completely. Facing the ferocious and sharp offensive, Chun Bo smiled coldly. Wind Blade X10. Instantly, 10 chillingly sharp wind blades swished from Chun Bo's hands, clashing head-on with the flaming dragon unleashed by Shi Zhengyan. Bang, bang, bang. Strong winds surged, and flames soared to the sky. Wind and fire intertwined, biting at each other, forming a towering fire tornado that swept through the surroundings. Shi Zhengyan, the live audience, and everyone in Xiao Zhang's livestream were dumbfounded. It turned out that President Bo, the wealthy individual who had become famous across the internet, was not only inhumanly rich but also incredibly strong in martial arts. He was actually evenly matched with Shi Zhengyan, the champion of the National Martial Arts Tournament, hailed as the #1 prodigy of the younger generation. This was beyond their imagination, yet also within reason. Rumor had it that President Bo's true identity was a hidden celestial dragon. His power was immense. For someone with such strength to be low-key and formidable, everything seemed perfectly reasonable. Bang! 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 The two, briefly separated, violently collided again. Wind and fire, for a time, were inextricably linked. 5 minutes later. Awesome! President Bo actually lasted 6 minutes and is still standing. Truly a real man. Come on. Come on. For a battle of this caliber, who dares say it's rigged? Isn't this much more exciting than the National Martial Arts Tournament? Is Shi Zhengyan going to lose? I admit Chun Bo's strength exceeded our imagination, but winning against Shi Zhengyan isn't that simple. Shi Zhengyan's trump cards are beyond your imagination. Below the arena, Shi Zhengyan's forehead was already covered in large beads of sweat, and he was panting heavily. The flames of the scarlet fire spear had also lost their initial intensity, gradually fading. He hadn't expected Chun Bo to be so strong, ridiculously strong. If he were just strong in power, it would be one thing, but Chun Bo's reaction speed and his bizarre footwork were simply too fast. His quick strikes couldn't land any effective attacks on him at all. He had already used all his strength, and let alone defeating Chun Bo. He couldn't even touch Chun Bo's clothes. Meeting an evenly matched opponent and enjoying a hearty battle certainly made him extremely excited. However, that didn't mean he could accept defeat. So many people were watching this battle. Losing would be too humiliating. Even if he had to stake everything, he couldn't lose here. Shi Jingyan bent down and roared, his muscles suddenly bulging. Along with the bulging muscles, his aura also surged. Crimson blood energy enveloped his body like raging flames. At this moment, he was like a super saiyan charging up his power. The outcome is decided. Don't struggle, Chun Bo suddenly said with a smile. His voice wasn't loud, but everyone present could hear it clearly. The outcome is decided? Did Chun Bo admit defeat? Someone in the audience questioned. Probably. He might have realized Shi Jingyan isn't to be trifled with and conceded early. Otherwise, if Shi Jingyan unleashed his big move, he'd be beaten to a pulp. That's too shameless, isn't it? Giving up just because he can't win. At least try harder. What if he won? The viewers in Xiao Zhang's livestream were extremely disdainful of Chun Bo's actions. They had long forgotten about the betting. Chun Bo had already held on for a full 6 minutes, and they had all lost. More than the bets, they now wanted to watch a blood-pumping duel with fists and flesh. Conversely, Shi Jingyan in the arena breathed a sigh of relief. Only he, having personally experienced it, knew Chun Bo's power and oppressive presence. If they continued fighting, he wasn't really sure he could win. Humph. Since you want to concede, I'll let you off today. Shi Jingyan gradually reigned in his blood energy, speaking arrogantly like a victor. You misunderstood. When I said the outcome is decided, I meant you lost. There's no need to continue fighting. Chun Bo said with a mischievous smile. I lost. Shi Jingyan looked utterly bewildered, then burst into laughter. Ha ha ha. What a huge joke. I admit you have some strength, but to beat me, you're not qualified yet. Since you won't concede, then let's continue. Come on. Shi Jingyan was about to counterattack. Just then, the crimson blood energy entanglement around him suddenly vanished, and he suddenly went limp, half kneeling on the ground. He couldn't exert any strength throughout his body. Chapter 248. What exactly did you do to me? Shi Jingyan cried out with a pained, twisted expression. Nothing much. Just sealed your acupoints. Shi Jingyan was enlightened, then utterly astonished. From the beginning, little Zhang had told him that Chun Bo was skilled in the ancient Taiwei 13 needles and adept at using poison. So, from the start, he had been wary of Chun Bo playing dirty and poisoning him midway through. Therefore, he wasn't careless. He was familiar with the Taiwei 13 needles. In such an intense battle just now, Chun Bo shouldn't have had any opportunity to use needle techniques. But the reality was, Chun Bo not only used them fluidly, but he also didn't notice it at all. What did this mean? It meant that the needle techniques Chun Bo used were far superior to the ancient family's Taiwei 13 needles. At this moment, he finally understood why the ancient family was so eager to eliminate Chun Bo. If you're that amazing, then what are our ancestral Taiwei 13 needles? Inferior? Everyone was completely dumbfounded. Someone in this world could actually seal Shi Jingyan's acupoints without him even realizing it. This was too exaggerated. With such a sneaky method, even Shi Jingyan could fall victim. How could they defend against it in the future? It was simply impossible to guard against. Thus, everyone came to a conclusion. In the future, unless it was an absolute, deep-seated grudge, they absolutely must not provoke Chun Bo, that sly old fox. Others' duels focused on true skill, cultivation methods, martial arts, and mastery of realms. But in a duel with Chun Bo, he would suddenly use a few needles. How could anyone deal with that? Shi Jingyan, did he lose? Is there still any suspense? He can't even move. Damn it. How can this be considered Shi Jingyan losing? Chun Bo, that sly old fox, is too underhanded. Using such a sneaky move to seal acupoints is an unfair victory. Needle techniques are also a type of cultivation method. It wasn't forbidden before the duel. Even if it's an unfair victory, he still won. My goodness, Dragon Country's #1 prodigy Shi Jingyan actually lost to Chun Bo. This is simply incredible. However, Chun Bo's performance just now was indeed stunning. If it were me, I probably wouldn't last 2 moves against him. In Little Zhang's live stream, a group of martial artists discussed animatedly. Tang Tang also smiled faintly at this, as if this outcome was already within her expectations. This result proved that her high-stakes gamble, placing everything on Chun Bo, was not wrong. Moreover, she even liked Chun Bo, a boy who didn't play by the rules and was subtly mischievous.
Tang Tang, Favobili hai. Tang Tang, Favobili hai. Tang Tang, Favobili hai.
Tang Tang's current favorability, 81 points. Do you concede? Chun Bo extended his palm, a small tornado spinning in its center, full of menace. If Shi Jingyan didn't concede, this tornado would be thrown at him. Normally, he wouldn't bother with Shi Jingyan not caring who won. But he had bet 1 million on himself to win, at odds of 1:1000, which meant 1 billion. He absolutely needed Shi Jingyan to verbally admit his defeat. You? Shi Jingyan gritted his teeth. But seeing the rapidly spinning small tornado in Chun Bo's palm, he immediately cowered. His acupoints were sealed, leaving him utterly defenseless. If that small tornado in Chun Bo's hand were thrown at him, he wouldn't die, but it would take half his life. He wouldn't do something as foolish as dying rather than yielding. I concede. At this moment, his gaze towards Chun Bo was extremely complex. He was a martial arts fanatic, and the martial way was his proudest strength. Yet, in his strongest area, he had actually lost to an unknown university student who was even younger than him. This made it somewhat difficult for him to accept. He felt utterly humiliated, but Shi Jingyan calmly thought about it. In the final wave of attacks, Chun Bo displayed an attack speed that was more than twice as fast as before. He had the opportunity to use needle techniques to seal his acupoints, and he also had the opportunity to deliver a fatal blow. However, Chun Bo did not. He won the match in the sneakiest way, which also gave him Dragon Country's #1 prodigy some face. When others discussed it, they could also say that Chun Bo won by using underhanded tricks and sneak attacks. At this moment, Shi Jingyan's eyes began to look very complicated. On one hand, he was very grateful that Chun Bo had saved him face, not letting him lose too miserably. On the other hand, this guy was getting involved with Tang Tang, making him feel utterly green with jealousy. In martial arts, Chun Bo was a strong contender, worthy of respect. But as a love rival, he made his teeth itch with hatred even more. But actually, Chun Bo hadn't gone easy, nor had he thought of leaving Shi Jingyan any face. After fighting Shi Jingyan for 6 minutes, he had a rough idea of Shi Jingyan's true strength compared to his own, and there was no need to continue fighting. Therefore, he chose the fastest way to win the match. Who knew you would actually think I deliberately went easy to save you some face? Brother, your misunderstanding might be a bit deep. You win this time. Next time, I will definitely win against you. He could concede, but Shi Jingyan was still trying his best to regain face, and also to display his admirable martial virtue of being able to bend and stretch. Zhang Yan, you couldn't win this time, and you won't be able to win next time either. Before Chun Bo could respond, Tang Tang stepped forward first and smiled charmingly. Chun Bo immediately felt faint. Sister, you are absolutely trying to make me a target of hatred. Chun Bo didn't know why Tang Tang would provoke Shi Jingyan. She was definitely not a woman with such low emotional intelligence. Otherwise, how could she hold the position of general manager of Shangtang Group? However, Chun Bo quite liked Tang Tang's approach. Ding! Anger value from Shi Jingyan. Plus 200. Current total anger value. 4070. Ding! Triggering an anger critical hit of over 100 points. Rewarding endurance attribute +1. Current host attributes. Strength, 29. Speed. 25. Endurance. 27. Chun Bo simply loved Tang Tang's personality, always making him a target of hatred. On the other side, Shi Jingyan really conceded. Does this mean that the title of Dragon Country's #1 prodigy will belong to Chun Bo from now on? Who cares? What does it have to do with us? If we meet either of them, none of us can win. I really didn't expect Chun Bo to win. With those 1:1000 odds, if I had bet 100,000, I could have won 100 million. Damn it. What a wasted opportunity. Which lucky bastard actually bet on Chun Bo to win? At the same time, in a certain villa in Yangcheng. Boss, the statistics are in. The total amount bet on Chun Bo to win is 1.48 million, and according to the odds we set, we need to pay out 1.48 billion. This time, we received a total betting amount of 1.87 billion. After deducting the 1.48 billion payout, we made a net profit of 390 million. Of course, 100 million of that still needs to be used for connections. A graceful, sexily dressed female secretary reported to a slick, middle-aged man with a tablet in her hand. The middle-aged man frowned. Do you know which genius placed that bet? Do you think we might be able to? The thought of having to pay out nearly 1.5 billion gave the middle-aged man a heart attack. At this moment, a wicked idea sprouted in his mind. Boss, we investigated. Of the 1.48 million, 1.1 million came from a young man named Yuan Chao. His strength and background are not to be feared, but it is said that of that 1.1 million, 1 million was bet on behalf of Chun Bo. Eft. The middle-aged man spat out immediately. Damn it. It's that sly old fox. He actually tricked me. That son of a bitch. Boss, are we going to pay him? Not pay? Do you want me to die? The middle-aged man roared, his heart aching as if being cut by a knife. Chapter 249. After the sparring session with Shi Jingyan ended, Chun Bo decided to stay overnight at Tang Tang's luxurious flat. It wasn't that Chun Bo wanted to do anything bad. He purely wanted to ignite Shi Jingyan's anger. What if you like Tang Tang? Tonight, I'm going to sleep with her. As expected, upon learning that Chun Bo would be staying at Tang Tang's home, Shi Jingyan immediately flew into a rage. Ding! Rage value from Shi Jingyan. Plus 180 inch. Current total rage value. 4,250. Ding! Triggered a rage critical hit of over 100 points. Reward. Speed attribute plus 1 inch. Current host attributes. Strength. 29. Speed. 26. Stamina. 27. Those who cultivate martial arts are easily angered, and Shi Jingyan is no less so than Su Jun. Both are excellent candidates for accumulating rage points. For this, Chun Bo even specifically added Shi Jingyan on WeChat under the pretense of exchanging cultivation insights. Of course, his true purpose was not to exchange cultivation insights. He had no cultivation insights to share. The most cultivation Chun Bo did was the dual cultivation activities with Ouyang Qin. His true purpose was to occasionally annoy Shi Jingyan and extract as much rage value from him as possible. After arriving at Tang Tang's 400 square meter luxurious flat, which was simply yet lavishly decorated, the two engaged in another round of passionate activity. She was just an ordinary person, and Chun Bo's exertions left her feeling completely worn out. Afterward, the exhausted Tang Tang immediately fell into a deep sleep. Chun Bo sat alone by the floor-to-ceiling window in the 100-plus square meter living room, lit a cigarette, and quietly overlooked the city's bustling night view outside the window. In this battle with Shi Jingyan, he realized his shortcomings. If he couldn't even crush a half-grandmaster like Shi Jingyan, wouldn't he be exhausted to death if he encountered a combat-oriented Grandmaster realm expert similar to Shi Jingyan in the future? Chun Bo was different from Shi Jingyan. He wasn't a battle maniac, and he didn't crave evenly matched, exhilarating battles. What he wanted was absolute crushing power, leaving no chance for the opponent. He wasn't willing to take even the slightest risk. As someone with a system cheat, internal friction was out of the question. If he couldn't crush Shi Jingyan now, then he would just continue to get stronger. The accumulated rage value had already reached over 4,000 points, giving him 4 lottery chances. Even if he drew a divine skill, it would be a qualitative leap in his strength. Wouldn't it be easy to completely dominate Shi Jingyan then? Chun Bo uncrossed his legs, straightened his posture, and stubbed out the cigarette in the ashtray. System, I want to draw. The next second, a giant roulette wheel, 2 meters in diameter, radiating brilliant and dazzling rainbow light, slowly appeared before Chun Bo, rising from below. The roulette wheel is ready. The host can proceed with the draw. Looking at the densely divided sections on the roulette wheel, Chun Bo rubbed his hands like a gambler. Draw for me. At Chun Bo's command, the giant rainbow roulette wheel spun rapidly, flashing with dazzling light. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Stop! Chun Bo let out a low shout. The roulette wheel's speed began to decrease sharply, slowly coming to a stop. Ding! Congratulations. Host, you have obtained the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body. The 10,000 Poisons Holy Body can absorb all invading poisons, goo poisons, and viruses, transforming them into one's own strength. The stronger the poison, the greater the increase in one's strength, without any side effects. It can also transfer and release poisons to other individuals. Good stuff. Chun Bo's eyes went wide. With the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body, Mom no longer has to worry about me getting poisoned. Last time, if it weren't for Meng Zhenhua giving him a heads up and obtaining information about Gu Yulan, he would have long been taken down by Gu Yulan's blood exquisite. As a master-level physician, Chun Bo knew that poisoning methods were impossible to guard against. Just like how he used a virus to poison and kill the strong individuals Gu family had gathered. Were these people not strong? Strong, very strong. Qin Jing was even a combat-type grandmaster realm martial artist. But so what? They were ultimately poisoned to death by him. What excited Chun Bo even more was that the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body could also transform poisons into his own strength. The deeper the poisoning, the stronger he became. That was truly awesome. With the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body, why bother cultivating? From now on, poisons like dichlorvos, red-crowned crane poison, and blood exquisite would all become elixirs to him. He could drink them like beverages without any problems. The more he drank, the stronger he became. He could also accumulate poison in his body and unexpectedly unleash it on enemies. Who could defend against that? This 10,000 Poisons Holy Body was truly amazing. Chun Bo immediately took out a bottle of blood exquisite from his interdimensional space. This was specially prepared at the time to deal with Gu Yulan. At first, Chun Bo didn't dare to drink it in large gulps, only daring to stick out his tongue and take a small taste. If he drank too much at once and exceeded the limit of the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body, then he would be in big trouble. After all, this was the first time, and Chun Bo didn't know the limit of the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body. As the blood exquisite entered his body, thump thump, his heart pounded fiercely, blood chi surged within his body, and traces of poison were instantly converted into violent vital energy, rushing towards his limbs and bones. This feeling of blissful ecstasy was incredibly comfortable. Seeing this, Chun Bo immediately drank the blood exquisite in his hand in one gulp. Boom! A restless and violent energy suddenly erupted within his body. All the toxins transformed into vital energy and surged towards his dantian. His originally empty dantian instantly became saturated. One must know that his dantian, cultivated with the Chaos Pure Yang skill, had a capacity thousands of times that of an ordinary person. To saturate his dantian with vital energy required an enormous total amount of vital energy. If he relied on dual cultivation with Ouyang Qin to obtain vital energy, it would take at least several months to achieve this effect. Unexpectedly, under the conversion of the 10,000 Poisons Holy Body, just a small bottle of blood exquisite had such an effect. Cultivation? Even dogs wouldn't bother with it. In the future, whenever he had free time, he would just drink a few bottles of dichlorvos. Would he still worry about his realm not increasing? Of course, this kind of improvement would also diminish as his realm increased, but it was still much better than cultivating step by step. Chun Bo didn't like to take the ordinary path. Suppressing the excitement in his heart, Chun Bo's gaze once again fell on the roulette wheel. System. Continue to draw. The brilliant and dazzling rainbow roulette wheel spun rapidly. Stop. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained a 3-courtyard Sihiyuan within Beijing's 3rd Ring Road, with a total area of 997 square meters and a total value of 500 million. Chun Bo's lips twitched slightly. Now that he drew such an asset-type item, there wasn't much ripple in his heart anymore. He had just won 1 billion in cash from the gambling table, plus his previously accumulated wealth. His net worth was almost 5 billion. From then on, he could righteously tell others, I have no interest in money. A place of about 1,000 square meters with a total price of 500 million, a unit price of about 500,000 per square meter. Even in Beijing, where every inch of land is precious, it was considered a top-tier luxury residence. Therefore, Chun Bo was quite satisfied with this 3-courtyard Sihiyuan. At least, when he goes to Beijing to play in the future, he'll have his own place. Chapter 250. After obtaining the 10,000 poisons holy body and a courtyard house in the capital, Chun Bo still had 2 more lottery draws. Putting away his thoughts, Chun Bo once again turned to the dazzling 7-colored wheel. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained a heaven-tier weapon, the Thunder God's Whip. The Thunder God's Whip, a weapon used by Shen Gongbao, a disciple of Yuanshi Tianzuan, comes with lightning attributes, possesses astonishing power, and can trigger skills such as divine lightning punishment. The next second, a Thunder God's Whip, dark purple with golden patterns, its body coiled with gnarled lightning patterns, and a cyan lightning crystal embedded at its tip, appeared in Chun Bo's hand. Chun Bo looked at this Thunder God's Whip, crafted from profound iron, its body gleaming with a cold light, and its segmented sections covered in sharp spikes, and he was quite fond of it. He even sensed a faint rumble of thunder within the Thunder God's Whip, exuding an intimidating aura. This was his first time receiving a weapon reward from the lottery. While unarmed combat was also powerful, he always felt it lacked a certain flair. Look at Shi Jingyan. With a fire-tipped spear in hand, he wielded it with extraordinary skill, both graceful and formidable. Unlike him, with empty hands. To conceal his awkwardness, most of the time he would carry one hand behind his back, feigning a profound and inscrutable demeanor. Who knew how much he longed for a handy weapon of his own? He suddenly gripped the Thunder God's Whip in his hand tightly. In an instant, the Thunder God's Whip glowed with azure electric arcs, coiling around its body, constantly leaping and emitting a sizzle sound. When the whip struck the ground, Tang Tang's precious carpet instantly turned scorched black, emitting a burnt smell. Chun Bo was like a little kid who had just received a beloved toy, eager to test the true power of the Thunder God's Whip. He immediately jumped out of the window of the large apartment and instantly activated Azure Bird Wind Control. His ultimate flying speed instantly activated, and his figure transformed into a blue light, heading straight for the vast and open Baiyun Mountain area. A minute later, Chun Bo arrived at Baiyun Mountain. In the dark night, the area was sparsely populated, making it ideal for testing the true power of the Thunder God's Whip. Thus, he soared through the air, controlling the wind, one hand behind his back, and the other holding the Thunder God's Whip. His aura instantly reached its peak. He suddenly exerted force, and an endless stream of vital energy instantly poured into the Thunder God's Whip. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The eerie blue electric arcs on the Thunder God's Whip crackled, and a spiritual glow suddenly appeared, like a bright LED strip dancing wildly in Chun Bo's hand. With one whip stroke from bottom to top, the Thunder God's Whip seemed like a living creature, greedily absorbing Chun Bo's vital energy, and its body instantly became extremely bright. If Chun Bo hadn't cultivated the Chaos Pure Yang skill, and his vital energy far surpassed others, perhaps at this moment, his vital energy would have been completely absorbed by the Thunder God's Whip. It was simply terrifying. The next second, an invisible, terrifying fluctuation emanated from the whip's body, and the air around the whip even twisted and rippled from the intense heat. Chun Bo's eyes lit up. Holy cow! This power! Awesome! One whip strike. With a clap of thunder, a pale, extremely thin and highly condensed whip force suddenly appeared. It was as if a white line suddenly emerged in the dark world. A white line containing terrifying explosive power fluctuations. At that instant, brilliant white light bloomed from the white line, illuminating the entire night as if it were day. Terrifying high temperatures spread in all directions, and thunder surged, deafening. This whip strike was like the breaking of dawn or the rising sun, much like the dividing line between sea and sky, as if it split heaven and earth in two from top to bottom. Swish! Wherever the white light passed, be it flowers, trees, strange rocks, or even the formless and insubstantial air, it was as if it had been scanned by a laser, split in two. 100-ton boulder stood in front of the white line. The white line gently sliced through it, and the entire boulder was instantly cut in half, revealing two smooth, mirror-like surfaces that slid down from the mountainside, emitting a thunderous roar. However, this 100-ton boulder failed to obstruct the white light in the slightest, which then landed between the mountains. Instantly, this white light, containing terrifying power, carved a deep chasm into the mountainside. Who knows how much environment and public facilities were destroyed? This made Chun Bo involuntarily gasp. This power is... Chun Bo's first thought was to escape quickly. Bayun Mountain is a famous scenic spot in Yangcheng, and if people found out he had messed it up like this, he didn't know if he could afford the compensation. He didn't dare to delay for a moment, and immediately flew back to Tang Tang's large apartment using wind control. Just as Chun Bo had escaped not far, he already heard alarm bells ringing from the mountaintop. Chun Bo, back in the large apartment, was already drenched in a cold sweat. Phew! Luckily I ran fast. I didn't expect the Thunder God's whip to be so powerful, truly worthy of being a heaven-tier weapon. After tidying his hair, Chun Bo proceeded with his final lottery draw. The 7-colored wheel slowly came to a stop. Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have obtained the complete set of controllable nuclear fusion reactor technology. This technology includes, but is not limited to, all technologies for manufacturing controllable nuclear fusion reactors, including nuclear reaction technology, nuclear change control technology, material technology, energy efficiency utilization technology, etc. Simply follow the steps, and anyone with hands can build the world's most advanced controllable nuclear fusion reactor. The next second, a thumb-sized USB drive instantly appeared in Chun Bo's hand. Inside it was the manufacturing technology for the controllable nuclear fusion reactor.
Chun Bo exclaimed, "Awesome."
This was simply a national treasure. Currently, only the white-headed Eagle Nation possesses controllable nuclear fusion reactor technology. They are already able to apply controllable nuclear fusion reactors to nuclear submarines and nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, but currently no other country can produce a precise nuclear reactor like the energy source of Iron Man in sci-fi movies. Having this technology would break the white-headed Eagle Nation's technological monopoly, which is of immense significance. He could even build a set of Iron Man-like steel armor and establish an Iron Legion. Chun Bo eagerly found a computer and plugged in the USB drive. The next second, "Holy cow! Holy cow! Holy cow!" Chun Bo exclaimed "Holy cow" 3 times. He couldn't understand any of the advanced technologies on the USB drive. As someone who studied foreign languages, he could understand every English word. But when these words were strung together, he truly couldn't understand a single sentence. "System, come out. Is this what you meant by a controllable nuclear fusion reactor that anyone with hands can build from scratch? Come on, you build one for me to see." Looking at these incomprehensible characters, Chun Bo felt a splitting headache. What he hated most was this kind of knowledge that he couldn't understand. He immediately closed the computer, pulled out the USB drive, and scrolled through some meaningless short videos, and the pain in his head finally eased. Phew! I almost let this nonsensical knowledge control my brain. Chun Bo sheepishly put away the USB drive. The item was good, but it didn't belong to him. He would give this handcrafted, controllable nuclear fusion technology to someone destined for it in the future.